What's good, people? Uncle Hotep back at it again. Good morning. Happy Friday. It's the day after Thanksgiving. I know y'all busted y'all gut yesterday. I did. I'm ashamed. Let's get out there and work it off. But as today you go and do your holiday shopping, start your holiday shopping. Going out and get your Christmas trees, your presents. I had to talk about Lavar Ball. Now, I haven't talked about... Actually, I tried to make a video about the incident, and I think I got distracted, and I had to redo it, so I didn't really get to it. Lavar was on CNN giving his thing. Now... So the media has taken a couple sides to this, and it's amazing here. Trump has called Lavar ungrateful, and then the white liberal, as they normally do, they see they can use an African American and a shine for their better for their own ideals and evil plans. Said, Trump he's doing this just to black people. Like, he's only clapping at black people. Like, that's the furthest thing from the truth. I think there's a saying, murder with extreme prejudice, meaning a bullet doesn't care what color you are. That's why I view Trump and the things he says in his clapbacks, his Twitter clapbacks. He doesn't care anybody can get it. He's giving it to anybody. He's giving it to almost anybody in Capitol Hill. He's giving it to John McCain, a so-called hero of the Vietnam War. I don't know if there's such thing. I mean, there's heroes to the people that were fighting to save themselves, of course, but getting captured, I don't know about all that. He's giving it to, who else he's giving it to? Al Franken, Ted Cruz, Rubio, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. Anybody can get it. But when he gives it to black Americans, the white liberal sees an opportunity. The white liberal sees an opportunity because they can flip it to racism. And as simple as that. And the African American, the Akata, the shine, they fall for it every time. It's like catching a fish in the water. It's good. Fish in the water. Take your rod, throw it out there, have a racism bait, put racism on the bait, on the hook, throw it in the ocean. Oh, there we got another one. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely insane. Every time. Now let's just look at this. Let's look at it. I got it set up. I hope I got it set up right. This is from Travis Waldron from another one of my favorite sites, the Huffington Post. There's a reason powerful Americans love to attack black sports figures. Powerful white Americans have been scouring political points off black athletes for as long as there's been organized sports in America. In this respect, at least Donald Trump is a traditionalist. On Wednesday, Trump renewed his feud with Lavar Ball, the father of one of the 3 basketball UCLA players arrested in China on suspicion of shoplifting earlier this month. Ball stands accused of showing insufficient gratitude to the president for having secured the release of his son, along with other players. I'm not going to read these tweets. Everybody's read these tweets. Everybody knows what went on. Over the weekend, Trump returned to another hobby horse of his, blasting Oakland Raiders running back Marshawn Lynch for refusing to stand for the United U.S. national anthem before a game in Mexico City on Sunday. Lynch, the president, noted while calling for Lynch's suspension, had stood for the Mexican anthem at the same time in the game. At the same game, in Wednesday's morning string of tweets, Trump also continued to slam the NFL's handling of protests against the racial inequality that began with former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin X. Kaepernick. Ball and Lynch, like other sports-related figures who have drawn Trump's ire, are black. The president is merely working from a familiar playbook. He's goosing his small but fervent base of supporters. How can you call it small if he won he won the election? It has to be sizable. By attacking these black sports figures who have dared to cross him. Trump, as he has in the past, would surely declare that there is no racial motivation to this criticism. But all the familiar code words are there. Ball is ungrateful fool. When has ungrateful fool become a code word? Just thanks to Sean King. I've made it. I told y'all about that. I made a video about that. Check my video out. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I knew they was going to do this. Trump said, Lynch showed great disrespect to a country that has allowed him to become a wealthy professional football player. See how they do it? This is the white liberals' tricks. The slickster, the original slickster, the white liberal, back at it again. If this has become a familiar routine for Trump, it's because it's a familiar one for America. The country has never been comfortable with assertive black sports figures. Despite all the caterwauling about athletes who refuse to stick to sports, powerful Americans have always understood the mere presence of black athletes to be fundamental, political, a threat to the larger project of black subordination. And if athletes themselves could no longer be kept out of sports, the culture at large would have to circumscribe their behavior, crushing outward assertiveness, segregate their blackness. The article goes on to talk about, baseball, the history of baseball, history of boxing. How blacks weren't allowed in the baseball leagues at first. And, they talk about the Negro leagues and stuff like that. About that, that was a mistake for the blacks to abandon their own Negro leagues. I mean, they fell for they didn't have the long vision. If they had the long vision, they would have just kept their own leagues. And this, hey, if you want to play every once in a while, we'll do that. But why would you lose your own league? I know the one league was more prestigious, offered more money, but if you had hindsight is 2020, if you looked at it, you would have said, hey, if we can put a better product on the field, we can, or just as good as product, eventually we can get the same fun, people in the stands, the same money, etc., and we keep it ourselves. See, in my mind, and see, this is why I say, it's I tell a lot of black people, I'm trying to tell y'all, school y'all on some things. White folks are smart. They're not dummies. You know what I mean? Somebody saw that and was like, hey, man, if we just let them continue these leagues, then there's a chance that league is just as big as Major League Baseball. You see what I'm saying? Now, I know it would have been a long shot, but people could have gravitated to this other league, the Negro League. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm smart, I would be like, hey, man, why don't we break the color barrier? We take their best players and put them on our team. You see what I'm saying? I know hindsight is 2020, but just chew on that for a second. Then they talk about boxing and, Jack Johnson and him fighting, They made a spectacle out of it at the end. You know what I mean? They were trying to let's the Great White Hope and all this other junk, man. I mean, what Trump is saying now, it has nothing comparison to that. They're two different even issues and political aims there. It's different. You know what I mean? And he would criticize anyone that did that. He's criticized anybody, no matter what the gender, what the race of skin, or whatever. Like I said, terminate with extreme prejudice. But I just want to make a point of this article, because if you go over to the LA Times column, the big blowhard, Lavar Ball has made a living off the backs of his children, by Bill Plash. So what is this then? You know, if it's an age-old tradition to control black athletes and sports figures, then what is this? Like, what is it? Now, I'm not going to say they haven't tried to, but what I think Trump is doing, and he's trying to exploit a situation, it just happens the African American, the Akatas, the Cheyennes are the ones doing it. In this situation, they're obviously trying to control a narrative and not have this happen again. Because if Lavar Ball even somewhat succeeds in creating Big Baller brand and making that a household name, a multi-billion-dollar industry, our company, then other athletes are going to do the same thing. Other high school kids are going to do the same thing. And the Nikes, the Under Armours, the Reeboks are going to lose out on this money, because kids coming out of high school, the star, the 5-star, the can't miss projects, are going to invest in themselves and sell their own shoes instead of taking that upfront money from Nike. You see what I'm saying? Now just imagine if LeBron James had started this when he came into the league. He started his own shoe company. He had some fire shoes. He wins back-to-back titles. What do you think he'd be selling right now? Now, I know he's made a pretty penny from Reebok. I know this. We all know this. Matter of fact, I think he signed a lifetime contract. Like he's going to be paying him for the rest of his life. Well, what's the deal? Once he going, he going. Now, LeVar Ball, let's take it to what if? What if Lonzo, he's coming out shaky, but you see flashes of what he can do. I don't think he's going to ever be a great scorer, but he's going to be he'll have at least 15, 20-year career. What if he gets a couple All-Stars? What if Los Angeles puts together a great team? They win a couple championships. He retires. Big Baller brand's still going. They even got a chance to sign their own athletes that come out of high school or whatever. You see what I'm saying? That's something they can pass on to their sons. Not after the game, not after you're done. That thing, Big Baller brand, can keep on going. Once your contract is up when you sign with Nike and them. But if you have your own company, you can pass that on to your children, your great-grandchildren, etc., etc. And he's saying that LeVar Ball is trying to make a living off the backs of his children. It's a company thing. It's a company business. He did the smartest thing you can do. You invest in your children. You invest, like when people raise children, they invest in swimming lessons, piano lessons, math tutoring, English tutoring, extra school tutoring. You know what I mean? They invest in sports. They give them extra all these sports leagues. What is that? That's nothing but an investment. Now, it may not pay off in like a person becoming pro or getting professional career, but it builds the character of the children, of the child. It builds their networking skills. You know what I mean? This is stuff they can carry on with them for the rest of their life. You should always invest in the child. He's just doing it a different way. That way that hasn't really been seen before. Now, I mean, imagine the business instincts these guys are going to have. Watching their whole the business they're invested in, the kids are invested in, watching it, see where we can go right or go wrong. You see what I'm saying? With or without, as long as Alonzo in the league. Now, LaJello acting a fool, he might not make it out there. LaMelo's still in the tuck. You know what I'm saying? What is this then? If Trump is being racist in the tradition of black sports athletes, what is the LA Times doing? Huffington Post. Yet since the attack dog, you want to attack Donald Trump, you'll talk on that, but you won't talk about the other media. And this is not the only one. There's been plenty of people that have been coming out with Lavar Ball. The woman he told to stay in her lane, the ESPN, half of ESPN was talking bad about him. If Trump is doing it, y'all was doing the same thing, right? I mean, this article, man, this is how media is two-faced, man. Because Nike doesn't want LaVar Ball in the CC. I'm telling you, they called a couple reporters, hey man, we need a couple more hit pieces. So off the backs of where he might gain a little. This is how slick they work. On the backs of the Trump interview about Trump, he gained. Some people labeled it that was a $13 million ad value he got from the CNN interview. Like the 8 minutes he was on CNN, that's $13 million value. Now, on the heels of that, where he gained some momentum, the big baller brand can gain some momentum. Here come the hit piece from the LA Times. You see what I'm saying? Fuck out of here, man. Yo, man, the media is fraud. Y'all's frauds, man, and the stuff y'all accuse Trump of is the stuff that y'all do on a daily basis. It's a damn shame, man. Anyway, this is Uncle Hotep signing off. Listen, if you could donate Patreon, PayPal, I greatly appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter, Handyman Uncle Hotep. Check out HotepNation.com. Episode 73 of the podcast is out. I owe y'all another one. It's been, I think, 2 weeks, but I'm going to come on a podcast this weekend, so be on the lookout for it. Peace.